Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Armand Dixit, a first-year architecture and construction science student, and I'm professor at Kello and Curtis's design studio. And what you see in the background is our space and form project, where we worked with 2D to 3D complexes, the fundamentals of space, and also factoring in basic architectural principles. This project is based directly on the waterfront in Galveston, Texas, and it's a very open plot with expansive parking surrounding it, as you see on the right-hand side image over here. It'll be a culmination of activities and places in which the students have created where somebody can spend their entire day to relax and enjoy. From the start with our figure ground models, I always wanted a level of symmetry within my design. And that in turn brought along everything else, such as the centralized organization and the datum that was seen through the reflection pond. The bilateral symmetry, it lays the groundwork for the shapes of the courtyards, the courtyard spaces, and a clear flow in terms of the circulation between all the structures. Everything essentially fell into place with my design. With my first iteration model, you can see the rectilinear form, and that stayed clear throughout the evolution of my project. So now looking at my Sector 19's connections, we can see that there are 4 points of egress surrounding my building location, and put doors all over the complexes, so it's very accessible from every side. Then looking at the second image, I call it a bit of an I-10 corridor as we lie on the outskirts. So it stretches, this path stretches along the entirety of the western side. So it has access from top to bottom to everybody's locations. But how to get into the central areas, that's where we have the water bodies, which are very traversable. And as it can be seen right here in the highlighted areas, it makes it easy to access the inside. Here I can say welcome to Grindhouse Fitness and MMA. Here one can experience a level of control to chaos, as they'll be pushing themselves to the limit, and there'll be physical activities. However, there's a level of management through learning inner peace and control through yoga programs. From doing MMA and workouts along the beach, something you can get in urban areas. This is having a dedicated workout facility and smoothie bar. You'll be feeling better when you left than when you arrived. So when looking at the various spaces of the complex, on the west side, on the back of it, we have our medium-sized water body, so it offers a good backdrop for the athletes inside the building. Here we have a view from inside of our courtyard spaces, which is riddled with nature, and we want it to feel very comforting and relaxing. And so it offers a great area to relax and do yoga. And then here we have our biggest body of water on the front, which the entire circulation spans on our I-10. And this offers a great view towards the rest of the complex and towards the water. Looking at the interesting features of design, we'll start with the parapets on top of the workout and smoothie bar buildings. These actually serve a function. What used to just be simple cubes sitting on top of the buildings now can actually store roofing equipment. Here we have the canopy and balcony. So these are probably the number one feature in terms of interesting features, as the canopy offers shade against the sun, but the balcony also offers a view to the west side and the water. When looking out, as you see the people in the design, that actually gives a view of the entire master plan. So you can see essentially the entirety of the park. Here we have the overhangs, which are seen throughout. And this just offers simple shade, but also a level of depth and detail to the building so that they're not as flat and rectilinear as we discussed. So now introducing the spaces, we see the floor plans for the 2 levels over here. So we'll be starting in room number 1 right over here, traversing this direction onto the other side, and then the stairs into the second floor, as you see on the right. Then we'll exit into our workout facility and then into our smoothie bar. We begin with the entrance of our dominant form. Here we have our grappling, or where our grappling and jujitsu mats would be, but the wood floor is there just to have an understanding of the space and what is there. So here we have 2 halls going to either side. One you can't see on camera. So next up, we'll be going to our coach's office. So here, through its single entry, is just a space for the coaches to have an area to put their things or to unwind, because of course you do need coaches for this. And right next door, we have our ADA restroom so that we can accommodate for more guests. And then right past that is our bag room, which mirrors over onto the other side so that you have somewhere where you can do striking. And then there's actually a door to the outside of it, same as the other side, so that people, if they want to just do striking, they can come in and do striking. There's a restroom door over to that side, which would be the ladies' locker room, or excuse me, the ladies' restroom. There's also a door right over here in front of the ADA restroom as a court entrance. So here you just get a glimpse of the ladies' restroom. That's the same mirrored image for the men's on the other side. So going to the other side, we see the two distinct prominent features, and that's the cage wall for clinch grappling, and that offers as a, the columns also offer a support for the second floor and as like the guardrail for the stairs. So now going up the stairs, we have our dedicated cardio room in case somebody just wants to do that after a workout or something of that nature. And outside here, we have a door to our balcony, which then goes into our yoga room. So here's another interesting feature where there's just simply a glass balcony here, which looks over the coach's office. So here we have this set up strictly to add an aesthetic to keep that calm, yoga setting, hence the vegetation and plant art. So now exiting the building, we go to our workout facility. So here, if somebody, just like how we have our bag room, doesn't want to do everything, they can come in strictly to work out. That's what this building is for. There's an entrance coming from the direction of one of the bag rooms through here, and then one that goes towards the reflection point. Enter the end of the journey here. So that would be through the smoothie bar. So through the smoothie bar is where you can relax, unwind, after a long day of training or working out. This is where it can end. You have a great view of the water, just like in the workout facility next door. So now going into more of the finer details, when we're looking at our east elevation view, this gives a good shot of different heights that you see in our structures. So the shortest being 10 feet, that'll be there in the restrooms. But with that, you have 16 feet over here in both the smoothie bar and the exercise room to keep a open plan. We don't want it to be confined. And then with the dominant form, where our MMA facility is, that rises up to 25 feet at its highest. And then when we're thinking about the square footage, actually, it's roughly 4,200 square feet total in terms of the structures, and then 1,500 square feet roughly for the courtyard spaces. But about 2/3 of the building square footages comes through our dominant space in the MMA facility. Lastly, we will discuss the colors, in which I would like to keep a neutral tone, very light palettes, as we don't want the structure itself to be the dominant form, but rather what's contained within it. So the woods for the floors and everything of the sort. You can see the white cladding walls in the image, or potentially a white synthetic stucco. We don't want it to be an overwhelming eyesore. The only metals that might be used would be potentially for the staircases or the cage walls on the inside, but for the most part, we would like to use woods to be environmentally friendly, as we see here with the balconies and the lumber that's being used. Now, when it comes to the lighting, we want to keep lots of natural light coming in, hence a lot of the ceiling windows and such. We don't want there to be too much artificial. We like the vegetation to be present, environmentally friendly items. So that is the premise of the project. So that will be all for the presentation. If you have any questions or critiques, please let me know.